Alright, so my furnace is going to cut off here in a second or two, but I just wanted to get this video out of the way while I'm thinking about it. NFL Week 18. This was the first season where I've watched more than just the Cleveland Browns play. I watched a multitude of games this season. I've watched the highs and lows. I've watched the AFC and they're crazy where everybody's either really good or really bad, and the NFC where you're either really good or you're mid. It's been a very fun season to watch. With the end of this week, with the start of this week, we already had the Eagles had clinched a spot. The Ravens had clinched a spot. The Niners had clinched a spot. The Niners and the Ravens clinched number one seed. The Browns clinched a spot 2 weeks ago. So we were in regardless. Couple other divisions here and there were fighting for spots and stuff today. So this weekend was fun for football in general. There were some games where I expected the team that lost to lose, either because they were a really bad team or they were resting all their starters because they're in. They don't have to worry about making sure that they get a better spot in the playoffs. Seeing, like, if you're fighting for a division title, then yeah, you play your starters. But if you're not fighting for a division title like the Ravens or the Browns, you're not starting Lamar or Joe. Nah. So starting with yesterday, the Steelers and the Ravens played. The Ravens did not start any of their big name starters, so no Lamar, no I think Odell plays for them. Yeah, I think. Can't remember. Or does Odell play for the Rams? Well, all their starters didn't play. And the Steelers started all their starters, and the Steelers ended up beating the Ravens. So no team in our division after today went undefeated against our division or won out against our division. Each team at least lost or won one game in our division. Um, but that pretty much helped, that positioned the Steelers to get into the playoffs. They needed some help. They needed the Jaguars to lose today. More on that in a little bit here, okay? So Texans Colts was last night's game. The Texans needed to win to make sure they were in, right? They were in if they won last night, period. They would be in the playoffs. They'd be either a wild card, and if the Jaguars won or lost, it really depended on that. Because the Jaguars and the Texans are in the same division. If the Jaguars lost, the Texans would be in, Jaguars would be out, Steelers would be in. If the Jaguars won, Steelers would be out, Texans would be out. And I think there's another team that would have been in. And the Texans beat the Colts. The Colts beat themselves, and the Colts got eliminated from the playoffs last night. Today, games that happened that really didn't mean anything. Chiefs and Chargers. Chiefs beat the Chargers 13-12. Didn't really mean anything. Chargers aren't really doing anything, and the Chiefs already had a lock in their spot in the playoffs. Seahawks Cardinals. The Seahawks were playing for hoping to get in, but the Seahawks needed help. The Seahawks needed the Packers to lose, I believe, and the Packers did not lose. We'll get to that in a little bit here. Rams 49ers, both teams already had a lock on their spots. The 49ers were not getting beat in their division. Rams were not going to move a spot, but the Rams beat the 49ers 21-20. Very, very fun, close game. Poor Brandon Perna and his Broncos did not get any love today as they got beat 27-14 by the Raiders. Neither team's making the playoffs, so it was just a throwaway. No offense to the Broncos or the Raiders, but better luck next year. Then we had one of the weirder games of the weekend where the Philadelphia Eagles played the New York Giants, and the Giants pretty much stomped their dick in. And the Eagles played their starters. So, frauds? Frauds? I'm doing this quick. It's rapid fire, right? But yeah, the Giants beat the Eagles 27-10. Eagles still are in the playoffs, but they went from being the best team in the league to the same seed in the NFC as our Cleveland Browns in the AFC, fifth. So, moving on to games that actually do matter. The Cowboys stomped in the Commanders with the foot and the heel. They did play their starters for some reason. The Cowboys beat the Commanders 38-10. Dak and CeeDee Lamb were electric, from what I saw. I did watch the most of the Packers Bears game because it had playoff implications. Go Pack, go! I'm very happy to see the Packers in the playoffs. Fuck Chicago. Then we had the Browns game. The Browns did not show up until the fourth quarter, and by that I mean about 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Um, no Joe Flacco, no defense. Pretty much everybody that's on the defense that matters was pretty much rested. Everybody on the offense besides Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt were rested, and David Bell. So yeah, no Chief, no sacks. Well, there was a couple sacks, but none from Miles Garrett or Ogunjobi. But Bengals stomped the Browns in 31-14. They had scored 31 unanswered points until the fourth quarter. At least the Browns put some pity points on the board. Finished the season 11-6. Got that fifth seed in the playoffs, and we'll be seeing the Texans' first game of the wild card round this coming Saturday at 4:30 on NBC. Hopefully we win, and we'll just wait and see who we play in the divisional. Then we had the Buccaneers and Panthers. Panthers end their season a miserable. Would they end their season? Miserable 2-15. 2-15. Baker Mayfield itching his way in there, getting that playoff spot. They win their division, which is insane. And they'll be playing on Monday night against the Eagles, which should be interesting. You got the Eagles team, which are coming off to be fraudulent, and you got Baker Mayfield, who's literally on a campaign to try to see a Browns Buccaneers Super Bowl. Imagine, y'all. Imagine if Baker Mayfield wins the NFC Championship game and points at the Browns with Joe Flacco, who just beat the Ravens, and goes, "I'm the final boss." And it's Browns versus Baker. Imagine. Okay. About three or four games left. The Jets beat the Patriots. Neither team were going to make the playoffs, so it didn't matter. Bill Belichick's last game as the Patriots head coach. I think it was like 20 plus years. But the word is that he's gone. Come tomorrow, they're probably going to cut his ass. And Bill Belichick will be retiring probably. Because they're finally realizing the Patriots aren't a good team without Tom Brady. And Gronkowski. Yeah, and Gronk only played like 9 seasons. Smart man. Homeboy made his money and skedaddled. So we had the Falcons and Saints. The Saints had a chance to make the playoffs today if they beat the Falcons. So the Saints destroyed the Falcons 48-17. It eliminated the Falcons from playoff contention. The Saints needed the Packers to lose. They did not lose. So the Saints don't make the playoffs. Then we had the Vikings and Lions. The Lions going on they're finalizing their playoff push and their tear through the NFC. Detroit won 30-20 against Minnesota. And then the Jaguars, who really needed just to win to get in, just to win to get in, did not win. Trevor Lawrence had a terrible game. Well, not like terrible, but he threw for a couple interceptions, and when they tried to do the push, he got pushed back for like 2 yards. Um, but they do not make the playoffs for the first time in 5 years, and that was the end of the week of football. So coming up for the wild card, starting Saturday, this Saturday, the 13th, on NBC and Peacock. You can watch it on Peacock, y'all. If you got that slick $9.99 with WWE Network, you got Peacock. The Browns, the 11-6 Browns versus the 10-7 Texans, the fifth seed and the fourth seed in Houston. I'm hoping my Browns win. And then 8 o'clock on Peacock, only on Peacock, it's going to be the 11-6 Dolphins, who just lost tonight against the Bills, going to Kansas City to play football against Taylor Swift. And it's supposed to be 10 degrees in Kansas City come Saturday night. Taylor Swift versus the Dolphins. Should be an okay game. Then Sunday, depending on whether we're not just depressed because the Browns won or lost, we want the Browns to win. We'll be depressed if they lose. At 1 o'clock on Saturday, on Sunday, on CBS and Paramount Plus, we're going to have the 10-7 Steelers, the third seed in the AFC North, versus the Buffalo Bills, who won their division, the AFC East, I think, South, with an 11-6 record. So Steelers Bills should be fun. I think it's gonna be Mason Rudolph versus Josh Allen. So who that'll be a fun one. And then on 4:30 on Fox, we're gonna have the Packers versus the Cowboys. Now, Elena wants the Cowboys to win, but go Pack go. Hashtag Grossi Posse. Go Pack go. Fan of the year. And then 8 o'clock on Sunday on NBC and Peacock, it's going to be the 10-7 Rams versus the 12-5 Lions. I kind of want to see the Lions beat the Rams as kind of like we did it. Because a couple years ago, the Rams and the Lions traded quarterbacks. Jared Goff used to play for the Rams, and Matt Stafford used to play for the Lions. And then some reason they were like, "We'll take those." And then Matt Stafford went and won the Super Bowl with the Rams, and Jared and the Lions were like, "We won the Super Bowl because Stafford's our guy." But it's cool to see Stafford versus Goff again. And then on Monday, we got the 11-6 Eagles, which I think they went on like a 1-6 run to finish the season or something like that, versus Baker Mayfield. I only say that because I don't know anybody else on the team, but it's Monday Night Football, 8 o'clock on ESPN, ABC, ESPN2, ESPN Plus, and ESPN Deportes. But Eagles Bucks. And I'm hoping Baker wins because my whole thing, I've already said it once, Browns win out. AFC Championship is Browns Ravens. Joe Flacco beats the Ravens, the team he won the Super Bowl with, to go to the Super Bowl. And then in the NFC Championship is Packers Buccaneers. And Baker beats the Packers. Sorry, Tom. And then the final boss for the down and out Browns to win the Super Bowl is the Browns with Joe Flacco versus Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A season off of Tom Brady. Crazy, right? Well, those are my thoughts of Week 18 and the wild card scenario. I'm going to give you my picks right now. Browns over the Texans. Dolphins over Taylor Swift. Bills over. You know what? No. Bills over Steelers. I'm gonna go. I want to say Packers over Cowboys, but I'm gonna say Cowboys over Packers. I'm gonna go Lions over Rams and Buccaneers over Eagles. You guys have a good week. Stay classy. Flex your beard when you can, and go Browns. Woof, woof.